All right, Tim Weiner, we are live on Washington State's podcast this week. Um, Folks, we have a special treat. We actually got the opportunity to snag Tim Weiner away from his busy schedule of running Whirlwind. He's our new state chair. I know he's joined us before. Oh, hold on. I got something in the background going. There we go. Could you hear that, Tim?
Okay.
Yeah, that was so we have live chat so people can comment when they watch this, and I forgot to put mute on that. So my bad. But anyway, real quick, I want to thank everybody that came out to the Bigfoot. The Tour of America was here in Spokane this last weekend. We had a fantastic showing. I think almost around 1,100 wrestlers on 16 mats, and we got done by 7:30 on Saturday. Um, I personally want to thank Rob Kate from Nevada and Christina Hargrove from USA Wrestling, who both came out to help us run this event and make sure everything ran smooth. I learned a lot of new technology pros that I think will help us in our state as we go further. From Rob Kate this last weekend, and obviously Christine is always a pleasure to have around. We love her to death, and she's a good friend. So um, on top of that, on that note, I guess we also want to congratulate Nolan Gandert. I had a couple of different nominations that he should be our athlete of the month or athlete of the week. We can go back to athlete of the week as time progresses. Last year, we tried to kick that off, and we would have a few people that would send nominations. I encourage you guys all to send nominations, and if we do that, we can do it weekly. If not, I'm just going to do it monthly because it's a lot of work trying to go through all the tournament results, look at who did what the last couple of weeks, and who should be that athlete, contacting parents, getting bios, writing articles, talking to the kids. So right now we're just doing an athlete of the month unless some of you guys want to step up and send some nominations. Otherwise we'll just be once a month, we'll highlight an athlete. So starting out this year, Nolan Gander is our youth athlete of the month. He battled some tough matches. Yeah, I think his first two matches he dominated. He won 12-1 respectfully in match 1 and 2, and then I believe match 3 he was 17-1. And then he wrestled the Oregon State champ that he's lost to twice, and he came back and beat him in a last minute reversal 7-6. Then he turned around in the championship bout to wrestle a kid from Montana. Can't remember the kid's name off the top of my head, and he was down 1-0 with about 10 seconds left, and he got that takedown and a reversal and ended up winning that match. And so, Nolan, congratulations for revenging your loss. It was a pleasure talking to you last night. I'm sure you're probably like this 9-year-old kid thinking this weird dude's calling you to talk to you about your experience there at Bigfoot. But I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy youth life to talk to me a minute. And on behalf of Washington State Wrestling, congratulations, Nolan Gander, for being our athlete of the month and your awesome victory at Bigfoot Battle. And I mean, the list goes on and on with the kids from Washington that wrestled really, really well there at Bigfoot. You guys all represented our state well, and great sportsmanship from the parents and coaches. Thank you much. The purpose of our podcast today, I know Tim's been working a lot behind the scenes with Adam Aney, our schoolboy coach, and we just kind of wanted to talk to you guys today, or let Tim talk to us a little bit about the procedures for our national teams going forward. It's very similar to every year. On our website, we still have our dual team interest form. We already had one person fill that out. I appreciate that. We're still in the process. Sports Engine duplicated all our registrations. Not all the information is up there because when they duplicate it, they put it up there for me. I haven't had time to update everything, but you can still fill out the dual team interest forms and let us know you're interested so we can start watching you guys. And also all that information is correct. So, but Tim, your doorbell's ringing. Actually, it's your cell phone.
Oops. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. So, Tim, what have you guys been working on?
Well, we got a few changes for this year. First off, we just want to be more forward about making sure everybody understands that this is all inclusive, and we want everyone to consider themselves a potential national team wrestler, and we want to start building Team Washington from a younger age. So one thing that is going to change this year is we are starting at a younger age. We are going to be asking kids to start participating at a novice stage. And we're going to start working on the kids joining younger age as well. So we want to have them around the older kids, working out with the older kids, getting the benefit from that coaching, and like any good community, we want those kids to see and want to be them. So in the past. As my nieces and nephews and my kids have come through, in some cases, they never even heard about the national team, or it seemed like a mystery deal. So this year, I want to make sure everybody feels like they're invited. And we also want to host more training events. So Adam and I are working on a schedule, and we've been working with top clubs. That's another message for today is no matter where you are, we want you to participate. All of our sanctioned clubs. Now we've been calling the bigger ones that already have a lot of kids participating. We're asking them, the coaches, hey, would you like to be involved because you got 3 kids or 5 kids? And so far it's going great. Dwayne Zamora has said we have I think made contact with some of the guys from Victory. We've got Damon McPherson down at Escao has said he's going to host some training. We got the guys from Chain. We got Adam's group up there, and also have Bob Rogers over there in your neck of the woods doing some networking to try to reach out and make sure everybody participates. And all started at a younger age, and we're trying to figure out, hey, where can we host our training events to get these kids together? So all of this is going on in the background, and you're going to start seeing some emails come out. We're going to send out email to our general membership talking about this stuff, and then we're going to we've already started targeting coaches, but we've asked our national team coaches to create lists for us. So we've got dream team lists we're coming out with, and we're going to contact your kids soon to try to make sure that we get commitments. And also on our list this year is to add another level, at least a third and maybe a fourth kid in our key weights, so that we can put more kids on the mat. This year we landed our cadet duels here locally. We're in Spokane for cadet duels this year, so we can bring another team. We know we can, and we got a really good shot at winning it this year. We got a great set of cadets coming in there, and that are already there. So anyway, Team Washington is all inclusive. We want you to participate, and we want to start getting your ideas. We're also going to publish that list of which kids we're thinking to the membership, and we want everybody to make sure and add ideas. We don't just want the kids that have currently qualified. We want the ones that are the hard workers that we think are going to qualify. We'd like them to come to our local practices and our groups. And that doesn't mean, and Justin's going to talk a little bit about the criteria to make the team. It doesn't mean you're on the team immediately just because you come to the trainings, but really I think a lot of the benefit comes at the training camps. That's where they get in a big group, they all work out together, and we can afford to add to that group. So that's where we're going to double the size, and that's where we want to get together more often. Now at those groups, we're going to look at the criteria, and we're going to wrestle the kids off. Not every kid's going to get on the airplane, but it's going to be fair and objective, and it's going to be done out in the daylight so everyone can see, and hopefully everybody can agree on who we select. But we want you to be included. And so could you tell us a little bit more about the selection criteria, Justin?
Yeah, well, we're talking schoolboys right now. I mean, we're not talking cadets and juniors at this point, but our schoolboys. It's kind of been in the past a little bit difficult because we take our criteria from our freestyle and Greco state championship. If you win it both styles, you're on the team. If and that this is where it gets touchy. If you win it in freestyle and get like fourth in Greco, and a kid gets first in Greco and second in freestyle, or maybe even a kid gets second and second, and a kid gets first and fifth and first and third, you start looking at your criteria. How do you really hammer those kids down? But generally, a surefire way to get on the team is win both freestyle and Greco. The second way, just because we're only allowed to take 26 kids or 27 kids to schoolboy duels, that's how big our roster can be. We have to hammer down and figure out what weights nationally are going to be the most competitive. So I know in the past we've spent hours and hours scouting other regional um, placings and track profiles and seeing what weights are going to be the most competitive, and then we generally try to double up in those weights, and sometimes that leaves out a kid or two at a different weight, and so there's a lot of process. There's many hours, and there's a lot of nasty phone calls that come in this process, but it's generally a very fun process, fun time to do. It's exciting being able to call those kids and let them know that they made the team. And as a whole in the past, I think it's been a very positive experience for a lot of people. But like you said, Tim, the process is obviously compete. One of the biggest things though that we're creating this year, now that we moved Northwest Regionals out of Battleground, had a very successful tournament last year, grew numbers, and generally you don't grow numbers when you move a tournament out of a location. You normally have about a 10 to 15% decrease in participation. We actually went the opposite way and actually had about a 15 to 17% increase in participation. So this year, we're actually going to throw down a couple more mats, and we're actually going to have a schoolboy division at Northwest Regionals, which will give Adam Aney an opportunity with his coaching staff that he's going to select for the schoolboy team to actually recruit and prospect those kids a little bit earlier than just freestyle and Greco State. So we'll be looking at you in March. Really, we'll be looking at you in folk style and hoping you can transition into freestyle and Greco. So the recruiting process for that's going to start a little bit earlier than it has in years past. We have a dual team interest form, like I mentioned earlier, on our website that we encourage you guys all to fill out. We are going to be hosting national training camps that are going to be open, like Tim said, for our novice kids. We do want to have some type of requirement. We don't want a kid that's we love our first year, second year wrestlers, but if you haven't wrestled freestyle, we'll probably ask you to learn some freestyle and Greco with your local clubs and your coaches and get a basis for it, because we're going to be teaching a little bit more technique and a little bit more in depth fine tuning at those camps. It may not be a place to start, although we'll welcome anybody. But I know, Bob Friend, Chris Feist, as you said, Damon McPherson, a new guy on the scene. I don't know if everybody knows him as Zach Hernandez. I met him, had the pleasure of meeting him not too long ago. Probably one of the greatest guys when it comes to coaching with kids and technique. He's a Hawaii guy, but he's here over in the Redmond area. Dwayne Zamara, Sean Williams, Ty Michelson, Brian Peterson out of Puyallup at Reality Sports, Justin Springer at Lake Stevens, one of my good friends, Brian Owen, here in Spokane. And as you mentioned, Renee Torres with Victory. They're putting out dozens of solid kids every year right now. But all these coaches are on board. They've all offered to open up facilities so we can, host ones in Region 1, 2, and 3, Central Washington, Spokane, Kelso, Vancouver area, up north, Lake Stevens, Chain area. So that's one, like Tim, you were saying, we're going to be doing some recruiting process at those camps as well. We're still working out details. In fact, Adam and I had a conversation today on how that looks. We're going to do a 5-hour camp. If we do we charge, 10, 20, 15 bucks, provide lunch, help offset travel expenses for our coaches, for, Bob driving up to Chain from Kelso, give them gas money and stuff. So we're working out details with that. That, like you said, that's going to be coming soon. Super excited for the things that are happening. Adam Aney is working tirelessly on doing this. He's doing a fantastic job as our new schoolboy director as a first year. I know he has plans on getting a few more coaches out there and using these camps as a way to offset that cost, so our memberships don't have to absorb it through membership revenue and tournament fees and whatnot. So I think this will be a great thing for Team Washington. And so that's kind of our plan for this year. Tim, do you have anything else?
All right. I just wanted to make sure everybody starts looking forward to putting kids on the national team and showing up and participating. So other than that, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope that you have a great time with your family here over the holiday. And I am thankful for all the people who participate in this organization and put a lot into it. There are a lot of great volunteers putting time into this, and I really appreciate everybody. So have a great Thanksgiving, and thanks for taking the time to look at this thing.
Yep.
Thanks, Justin.
Tim, thank you for joining us again. I know you got a busy schedule with your career. As always, if any of you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to give me a call. My number's on the website. Most of you know how to get a hold of me. Thank you very much. And Tim, again, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. We love you all, and look forward to another successful season this year.
Okay. Thanks a lot, buddy. Catch you later.